Hi everyone, it's the films of Paul W. Anderson, Part 6. With Resident Evil's success, Paul Anderson was again a hot name in Hollywood, which is when 20th Century Fox decided to offer him the opportunity to direct the movie crossover of the two most famous space monsters in films. Anderson has always been open about being a huge fan of the original Alien, and so getting to work on the project was a dream come true for him. He did supervise the production and write the script for this Resident Evil sequel, but left the directing for someone else. It seems though that the negative reception Anderson got from Resident Evil followed him when he made AVP. The most vocal criticism came from fans of the Alien vs. Predator comic book. The concept of the crossover had existed a long time before the movie was made, most prominently in comics and games, and just as with Resident Evil, fans were angered by the fact that the movie didn't follow the storyline of the comic book. However, most of the criticism is entirely redundant. Definitely from the perspective of the Alien franchise, the storyline isn't quite up to the same quality, but it's a versus movie, so I feel it doesn't need to be. Any movie with those two little letters in its title is designed to be pure entertainment and nothing else. And just to point out how redundant all the criticism this film's received is, I'm going to boil it down to the one topic which I see repeated over and over again in any review of the film I've read, seen, or heard. The most often repeated criticism for the film is that apparently it's too dark. Yes, people keep saying that the film is too dark. So, it's an alien movie, and it's dark? Are you still following me? I could understand this criticism if the film was so dark you can't make out what's going on, but that's not even the case. Is this the point we've reached? Does every movie out there have to come with an idiot disclaimer at the beginning? Note, before watching the following motion picture, take note of this symbol on your TV remote or computer monitor. This is called a brightness adjustment button. Fucking use it, you dumb shits. In the movie, the Weyland Enterprises satellite picks up a heat signature from Antarctica. They realize that the signature comes from a pyramid-like structure from underneath the ice. They gather experts from all around the world to determine its age and origins on an expedition to claim it from Mr. Weyland himself. Once they get in, they discover some strange alien weaponry, and when they remove them, all hell breaks loose. Turns out, the temple is the training ground for the Predators, 3 of whom have come to the temple to test their skills against the aliens, or xenomorphs. An alien queen is located in the depths of the temple and woken to produce eggs to spawn aliens for the Predators to fight. A good bunch of the human expedition end up as incubators for the chestbursters, and before you know it, the humans are up to their head in Alien on Predator action. And just to add to their problems, the temple keeps shifting and changing every 10 minutes, thus making their escape much more difficult. What's nice about the movie is that it tries to do some new things with the Alien and Predator franchises. The setting in Antarctica, in the cold and inside an ancient temple, is a nice step away from the traditional hot jungles and cities of the Predator franchise and the spaceships of the Alien franchise. The battles between the aliens and the Predators are definitely the highlight of the movie, and the humans definitely fall into the background as a result. This is a problem with many other versus movies, and it doesn't help that most of the cast is just really uninteresting and standard stock. There's the woman with an attitude, the nerd, the asshole, the guy with an accent. Even the leading characters aren't all that interesting. Sanaa Lathan plays Alexa Woods, a mountaineer who is hired by Weyland as a survival expert on the expedition. She has some backbone, but she's not as interesting or charismatic as Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise.
Get away from her, you bitch!
However, towards the end of the film, she allies herself with the last surviving Predator when the aliens start to get the upper hand and threaten to breed out of control. This cooperation between a human and a Predator is also a nice departure from the previous films. She also gets to deliver part of the Predator franchise's catchphrase, "You are one ugly motherfucker," although she actually does it to an alien. Raoul Bova is the male lead, an archaeologist named Sebastian. Unfortunately, he's just a handsome face. He has maybe 2 or 3 funny moments in the film, but isn't very interesting. Colin Salmon is back from Resident Evil and is just as serious and badass as before. Unfortunately, he gets killed immediately as the humans first encounter the Predators inside the temple. This guy just can't get a break, can he? Lance Henriksen, who played Bishop in Aliens and Alien 3, is back playing the role of Charles Weyland. Even though I love Henriksen to death, and despite the fact that he's one of my favorite actors of all time, his role in AVP is pretty limited, but I do like the idea that he's terminally ill and goes on the expedition because he wants to be remembered for something other than just being filthy rich. Henriksen was obviously cast in order to create some continuity with the Alien films. I've read that Anderson also tried to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to reprise his role as Dutch from the first Predator movie. Unfortunately, by the time the movie was in production, Arnold was already running for governor. With an interesting setting, the new elements, and the aliens and predators getting to show off their best stuff, AVP is one very enjoyable movie. However, its writing is definitely the weakest in Anderson's filmography. It has a nice build-up, a slightly dull middle part, but a brilliant latter half with an epic finish, though a slightly obvious attempt at leaving a door open for a sequel. However, it's probably my favorite Predator movie alongside Predators, and even James Cameron, who was extremely skeptical about the film, has named it his third favorite Alien movie. AVP should be taken as it is, a fun romp with two classic movie monsters running the show. I'll give it a decent rating of a 3 out of 5, definitely fun if you don't take it too seriously. Next time, Anderson remakes one of the classic schlock movies of the 1970s.